Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. I also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations unto the elect as well as the hopefully elect, which are the Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, preaching and prophesying through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations but are of the nation of Israel and their father's side by blood. And I wanted to get into a quick lesson. I was just talking with a brother and try to remember the title. I probably have to go back to the audio of it, but I said we almost home. It's a lot going on, which you'll see the title, and that's what it is, man. That's exactly what it is. It's so much going on that you can tell that we almost home. All right. And then I had ended up, I don't know, the spirit, kind of told me to go into the daily verses, right, in the Bible app. And verse 31, Luke 21 and 31 was in there. And I'm like, call Yabashim Shai, And so I'm going to actually go up a couple verses. And I'm going to go to 29, right? Well, I'm going to go to 20. I'm going to read 28 and just kind of, explain what's before. So this is Luke 21 and 28. It says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Now, when you read through this chapter, of course, it speaks about different things that was going to be going on the earth. All right, far as nations against nation, ultimately back in 70 AD, all right, when our people had to flee out of Jerusalem, from the Romans, okay, but other things, being hated for the Lord's name's sake, different things you can read through the chapter, and that's just signs, just as the things that we see happening now with nation against nations, wars and rumors of wars, okay, because this third world war pretty much popped off, man. All right, and the thing, see, the Lord, that's why we can't go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You can't fall asleep because that's how cold the Lord is. It'll just pop, it'll be boom. One domino will get knocked over overnight. One domino will get knocked over just like that, man. All right, here it is. We, all of this stuff going on in the States with these people protesting. And we through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, we already seeing and knowing what's that leading to and how they coming about. It's leading to Jacob's trouble, leading to martial law. All right, leading to order ab chaos, which is order out of chaos. All right, one of their mottos. All right, one of the wicked mottos that these people, these elite have. Okay, this is how they do. End up getting people there, agent provocateurs and people that work for them and got them doing the most around them protests and getting other people hyped, getting other people, got them being live and doing similar actions, man, to make things worse. All right, so then they can bring in what? That order. Okay, it's too chaotic. We got to bring in order. Martial law, boom, here's the different laws, and this is what you can do. You can't be out, bring curfews in, so on and so forth. Now here it is, that's going on. And then boom, just like that, the Lord have the Israelis strike Iran. And then they struck back. I remember the last time when they was messing with Iran. I believe that was last year, if I'm not mistaken. They ended up attacking Iran. And then Iran fired back. And I'm sitting here thinking like, dang, well, what if if we are here next year and that just be the last time? That'll be the third year in a row that they didn't attack Iran. 3 times you out. That's just hopeful and wishful thinking. Of course, we prayerfully we out of here before then. Okay, but things are heating up. All right. Then you got the AI going crazy talking about don't hire humans. People got offended about that. But see, the thing is that's mind tricks. And I'm reading the article on how it came about, and the company Artisan, right? Which an artisan goes into like a craftsman, or artist. All right. Some basically like creating an idol in a sense. Okay. And they said they did those things to, they like, well, dang, all these other companies got, coming out with this AI technology. Basically, how can we stand out? Right. And they came up with a couple slogans to get people's attention, but one of the main ones is it said, don't stop hiring humans, and then they purposely misspelled hiring on purpose, so it just be little things like that. But nonetheless, they can sit here and say that these things, just doing this, they taking calls, expanding businesses, automated, whatever, eventually they're going to come for your job. Okay. Now, what would that bring in? What would that entails? The grinding cease, the doors being shut. Take your ass in the house. Here, take this UBI. Get this universal base income. Y'all done lost your job. All right. Now, boom, just take this and be happy. This is the society that we're coming into. But I'm gonna continue to read. Verse 29, it says, and he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. So when you start to see the trees, start to bear fruit and turning green and budding and things, that the summer is nigh. You definitely know it ain't the fall, it ain't the winter. All right. But it's the time for that season, man. All right. Just like the things going on. This is the season for it. And see, the Lord is so cold to where he'll get things real hot and then he'll put it on simmer. He'll get it real hot and then he'll put it on simmer. All right. But eventually the pot's going to start overflowing. It's going to be so hot. But when he puts it on simmer, that puts people back to sleep, because they start to think things is okay. They start to think things is all right. But as it tells us in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, we are not of those that sleep in the night, that be drunken in the night. All right. We're of the children of light. We see through the Spirit. The Lord allowed us to be keen, be wise. Okay. Be prudent. All right. To be paying attention to prophecies. He allowed us in to know his secrets and his mysteries, man. All right. So that's why when we see these things, we know that the summer is nigh, because the summer being nigh, when the summer hit, that's pretty much salvation at the end of the day. All right. It's a boom. That time is coming as the trees is budding, but then it's a point where that tree is just fruitful. All right. And that'll be, equivalent to things going on constantly. All right. Them inching a little closer to this totalitarian society that they want, which they, need to get a little bit of it. All right. So the prophecy can be fulfilled in Job, where the Lord, pretty much stop them at that last minute. Verse 31, it says, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand. So that's, through the Spirit, the Lord, however long you been in this, you still in this. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord shows us, I got to get my favorite precept. The Lord shows us things. He won't just give you a bone with something, for your flesh. He'll give you a spiritual bone too. Give us all a spiritual bone. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12:17. It says, for when men will not believe that thou art of a full power. Right. That's people going back to sleep when it's on simmer. All right. Thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest. So it makes us more bold, makes us more faithful. It lift us up more. You know, you'll get to the point like, damn, man, we gotta get out of here. Boom, boom, boom. And the Lord has something happen, and then boom. You all charged up through the Spirit, man. Okay. It says, verse 18, but thou mastering thy power, judgest with equity, and orderest us with great favor, for thou mayest use power when thou wilt. Right? So the Lord is controlling all of this. He do what he wants to do. Guess what we do? What he wants us to do. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you ain't got no say. All right. So this is Luke 21. All right, back in 30, I'm going to read 31 again. It says, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand. So it keeps us on our toes, man. You know, so we don't get too relaxed. You know, you be sitting up, things get to taking along. Now you all lean back. Now you lean to the side with your hand on your head by your ear. And before you know it, you sleep. You know, but through the Spirit, the Spirit is keeping us up, man. Okay. Verse 32, it says, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Yeah, that generation, man, this generation, that been happen, that ain't happen. They ain't gonna be here when I'm alive and da. No, this is that generation. This is because this is the generation where Third War is starting out, Third World War. This is the generation where they constantly advancing and increasing in AI technology. This is the generation where they're constantly talking about this MOTB. This is the generation, I ran across a brother that put something on his YouTube post. They passed some digital bill, all right, far as the currency, okay? So what are we doing here? Well, I mean, these would be the same people that say they waiting on the second coming, though. All right, but that like what do we? The scriptures say, hasten in the day. Okay, it says verse 33: heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So dominions is going to change, powers and kingdoms is going to be transferred. All right, this society is going to be gone, but the Lord's word is going to live forever, and it's going to play out what is meant. Is whatever the word says is going to happen is going to happen. All right, it shall not lie, as it says in Habakkuk. Okay, I'm gonna read 34 and 36 and 35, 36 with it. It says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with suffering and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. And I was thinking about this as well, man, being too distracted. Okay, because earlier I was reading Sirach 33, and it speaks about a servant being idle. Well, just as we're reading that, we got to apply that to ourselves as well, because it says an idle servant getting to much wicked can find much wickedness. All right, so you'll mess around and be so distracted and ripping and running here and there and worried about the wrong things that you putting this word on the back burner, man. All right. It says, verse 35, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Why? Just like a bear trap or any trap, any snare. Okay. Nobody's going to get caught in it if they expect it. It don't make any sense. All right. You think the mice that get caught in them traps, they just like, oh man, I'm about to just, that cheese is so worth it, or that peanut butter is so worth it, I'm about to just get caught. Like, no. They think they in good case, as the scriptures say these people do. You know, peace and safety. You know, that's when sudden destruction comes. Verse 36, it says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. That's important. It told you to pray always. Pray that the Lord keep the spirit on you. Pray that he cast you not from his presence. Pray that he protect you and your family, your household when these times come. All right. And we got work to do, you know. our service for his service, so to speak. All right. But it's not in the case of just, oh, well, I did this, so you got to do, like, nah, it comes by faith and sincerity and truth. Remember, he spoke about in John the 4th chapter, the true worshipers. All right. In spirit and in truth. Okay. Verse 37, it says, and in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and abode in a mount that is called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple to hear him. All right. So, yeah. These words are written in red. So this is what the Lord has spoken unto them. Okay. This was meant to be heard. This was meant to be said, meant to be heard, meant to be wrote down, and meant to be read. No, I'm not trying to rhyme. But hey, call all y'all about Shemal Shai, man. Once again, I forgot the title. It'll be up there though. As we almost home. It's a lot going on, and we almost home. There we go. There we go. Lord willing, man. Sooner than we think. This year, first half of next year. And I always think about that. Here it is for years. All right, first of all, the apostles been here for decades, Some of us been here, some of the, bishops and elders been there a little less than that. Well, for decades still. And then some of us been here about a decade, but we always, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, continue to hasten in the day. Okay, even if we understand that it's on the Lord's time, man. I mean, what more could he ask for? What more could we do except for be patient and possess, in our patience, possess our souls, man. All right. So, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh, Shalom.